Greetings from the land of OP! I am Rob the OPGamer.
And I am Joe the Revalator.
And we are here bringing you another episode of Surprise Builds, where my guest of the day will be springing a build on me that they want to see me do, that I have not heard of before. I have no idea what's in store for me, so hopefully some wacky zany times will ensue. And don't forget to catch me on YouTube and on my stream at Twitch, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The link is Rob the OPGamer for every single one of them. Just type in the address you're after and hit /Rob the OPGamer, take you right to it. Follow, rate, subscribe, comment, favorite, all that fun stuff. Tell your grandmothers. Methuselah, Joe, what are we doing today?
I've actually had a problem in my game, which is zombies screwing up my NPC village. I actually use the NPC village because I am an evil overlord in everything I build. Not a high-tech one, most of my stuff is mud buildings, but if you'll open that window that I sent you, that's kind of what I want.
Okay, let me check this link you just sent me here. Let me also turn the rain off.
And it's raining.
Ah, tower. This isn't just any tower either. This is straight up a scout tower out of Warcraft 3. That is awesome.
See, I'm looking for some form of defense, and I'm hoping you can offer that to me.
Oh, I can offer it to you. I can offer it the hell out of you. Hang on a second here. Let me, I am going to get this up on screen so people can see what we're building as we build it. Because I have become just that good at this whole recording business. There we go. Oh, shit. There we go.
Just that good.
Yep. Well, you know, the broadcasting software. There's only so many ways you can go about. Are you pincushioning me? Oh, no.
No.
We're in creative mode anyway, so even if you shot me, would the arrow even stick? Shoot me.
Gladly.
You're a terrible
No,
shot.
it went right through you.
Oh, okay. Did you actually hit me? Oh, it does go right through me.
Oh, yeah. You're like Patrick Swayze from Ghost.
Yeah, I am. Well, let's head over here to this NPC village. This was the previous site of mine and Xavier's construction of the Doom ship from SimCity. I don't know if this is actually going to help now because I don't think there's any NPCs left to defend, and this is pretty much a wreck of a town at this point. But let's just kind of like say we're going to build one up here on this little rise. How about that? That sound good?
So this tower will defend the village of the damned?
Yes. Well, obviously you're playing undead, and obviously you are going to be taking it over, and there's still some neutral structures that you can capture to your side, right? That's how that worked before?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so what I think we're going to do is we'll work with there's a couple of versions of border stone and a couple of versions of edge stone. Here's edge stone bricks. I think we'll go with that. There's a little bit of blue in this thing down here, so let's get something blue. We could go with let's see, we could do lapis, we could do wool, we could do what if I just type blue in here? Oh, there's all kinds of things. Blue force bricks, that looks cute. A light blue wool. That's kind of a lighter blue, maybe. Blue storage unit. No, that's not what we want. Blue lamps.
Will it actually be able to shoot at enemies?
Oh, yeah, it will. Definitely. Colored wood planks. Futuristic armor plating block. What the hell is that? Holy dick. I gotta see what that is. Alright, so I'm going to let you pick out some color options here. You ready? This is a lapis lazuli block. That's just 9 lapis lazuli.
Okay.
That's blue wool. This is for the blue portion of the tower, by the way. Here's some blue force bricks. This is blue futuristic armor plating. Although that's not quite blue enough. I just want to see what it looked like, honestly. That's from...
Okay, I think the wedding cake will look best in the lighter color, and this will go well with my suit.
Here's a light blue. That's a light blue wool. What do you like?
Let's just go with the lapis lazuli block.
Going with the Going with ye olde vanilla average stuff. Fantastic. I like it. I got a couple of different ideas for bricks too. Here's some border stone. You can see it's got a nice smooth connected texture as you add more and more of it, which looks kind of cool.
Nice. Good stuff.
This is an edged alternative. Or no, this is border stone also. It's just a different type of border stone. I'll put it next to the other one so we can kind of compare them. So you can see that they kind of do the same thing, just a little bit differently. And this is edge stone bricks. So this is stone bricks with the same border around it. Actually, that one probably looks the best one for it.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go with that.
Alright, so we're going to go with the edge stone bricks and the lapis lazuli blocks in terms of looks, because we are going to stick this as close to the alliance as possible. And let's see what else here. We'll use these two primarily. The lapis lazuli block, of course, is just 9 lapis lazuli put together in a full crafting grid. It's just vanilla crafting recipe. And then the edgestone bricks comes from Extra Utilities mod, and it is created by taking 4 stone in the corners of the grid and 5 stone bricks is in a plus fashion in the center of the grid. The stone bricks, of course, are just going to be your standard fare of 4 stone in the crafting grid. Get you 4 stone bricks. So you just cook up some cobblestone. Really, it's not that hard to do. You get tons of bricks. It's still a 1-to-1 basis with the cobblestone in the end. You still get a good bit of them together all at once. So let's go ahead and just start outlining our tower here. This shouldn't be too difficult. We're gonna go. Let's make it kind of big, actually. What do you think? Bigger is better.
Oh yeah, let's go big.
So let me fill in some dirt here really quick because I'm kind of a stickler about that. People hate that, but whatever. Done. 1, 2. This was 5 over here. This is 3. Let's do 5 more this way. 3, 4. I know we'll go out one more, I think. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should do good. And then we're gonna go. How many did I get over there? 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I found a villager.
5. Oh, did he live? I'm surprised none of you lived from the devastation that Xavier and I wrought upon their terrible souls. I hear him.
He died under mysterious circumstances.
Ah, sour for him. He died under mysterious circumstances. Oh, BTWs, you weren't here the whole time?
Yeah, mysterious circumstances that had nothing to do with this bow.
Ah. What'd you drop a bow over here for and then load a new one? What's the deal with that?
No reason.
Alright, so I think this will be the layout for the ground floor. What do you think? Does this look good?
Yeah, it's looking good. Nice cliffside hill.
Alright, so I think what we'll do
It had like a overlook.
Overlook. Yeah. Well, obviously you don't want the zombies to be running right up to the doors, even though there's not going to actually be any doors. Actually, there will be doors, but we are going to, instead of using regular doors, we will make some invisible ones, because why not? So what I'm now showcasing is the Builder's Wand. This thing automatically fills in spaces. It can also do complex shapes and things as you push it on the ground. I'm using a creative mode version of the Builder's Wand, which allows me to infinitely build stuff with it so that it doesn't actually take up resources doing it. That's a cheated one. You can't actually use those. But there is a one that you can build, a non-cheated version of it, and it is a stick and an unstable ingot. What you got to do is get a diamond and an iron ingot and a division sigil. There's an activation method to these. Anybody curious to see the activation method for the division sigil can check out my last build spotlight I did on the reactant dynamos. I go through how to activate the division sigil in the last video there. Check that one out. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that kind of fun stuff. It shows you how to get a hold of these as well as activate them. Or I talk about how to get a hold of them and then I show you how to activate them, and that will get you the unstable ingots. But be careful when you make them. They blow up after 10 seconds. They cause a lot of damage. They've killed me through full entire armor setup before, like all the way straight through my power suit. So careful if you end up blowing those up. Just don't shift click them, and don't use a non-vanilla crafting table, and don't close the crafting grid. and you'll be fine. And they have 10 seconds before they blow up. So you just need one to make the Builder's Wand. You can also find the Builder's Wand in certain dungeon chests every now and again. So, yeah, there's that. If you want to play with one, Joe, I'll let you here. Go ahead and grab that bad boy. And anytime you place a brick, like here, watch this. Like I just placed these couple lapis right here. I'm gonna remove those lapis in a second, but if you want to just hold the Builder's Wand against it, you'll see that you can then put a few more next to it of the same type. No, you right click. Do you get the outline?
Nope.
Probably not, because I was the one that placed them. Load yourself here. Let me throw you a lapis lazuli block. So grab that, and then place it down. Just stick one on the ground really quick.
Oh, my inventory's full. I should probably stop screwing around.
Oh. Well, you can play with the brick later. I'm going to keep building this thing here. So I think what we'll do is I'll take a few minutes to make a ground floor setup, guys, and just build this up a little bit. And then I'll show you how I built it up. I want to make the front footpath a little bit as well for the front tower. I kind of want to... Wouldn't it be cool if that little wooden door kind of raised and lowered on its own, Joe?
Yeah, I kind of would.
You having fun making a lapis tower?
Look, I'm going to start hitting this thing with some bones. I think eventually stars will come out.
Nah. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and build up the walls of this tower a little bit, and then we'll come back and work on doors. So do a quick YouTube cut. We'll be back, guys. Alright, cool. Guard golems! Doink. 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 Doink.
And this episode of Surprise Build is brought to you by Fusion's Adult Gifts. When you want to treat that special someone, redefine their atomic structure. We have sponsors, right?
Yeah, we have sponsors. I don't know how many sponsors we have, but hey, we'll go with it. This has nothing to do with
Okay, so now that we experimented with Silverfish versus Golem.
Yeah, now we'll actually build the tower. This has nothing to do with anything. Joe just made Silverfish happen, so I made Golems happen. It's kind of like a Magic the Gathering play when one person plays a card, the other one counters it. Alright, back to the tower. Alright, we are making some progress on our tower here, and I have got a drawbridge door. Yes, I love drawbridges. Anybody that's seen any of my previous videos in these surprise builds especially, I use these drawbridges quite a bit. They're pretty much easy to make, really. They're part of Tinker's construct. And this is out of Tinker's Mechworks, which is an add-on for it, I believe. And you just need some Alumabrass ingots, 6 of them, or you can use bronze ingots. It's just, if you don't have a lot of Alumabrass, just have some bronze. You can also use a blank cast, which is required as part of the recipe here, as you can see I've got on the recipe camera there. A dispenser and a redstone. And the blank cast is also Alumabrass. You melt it down into smeltery. I'm not going to get into smelteries too much right now, but basically all you do is you melt down 1 aluminum and 6 copper, and you get Alumabrass, and you pour it out onto a bench. There's a lot of tutorials out there on how to do smelteries. I'll do that. I'll do a spotlight on it at some point if people are really curious. I can get into that, but they take a little bit of setup. But basically, you just get one of those blank casts poured out onto a blank table, and you'll get a cast. And then 6 bronze and a dispenser and a redstone. The dispenser is just 7 cobblestone and a bow and a redstone in the bottom of it, shown like so. The bow is going to be 3 sticks and 3 string, so it's not that hard to make. And what I've done is I've taken this drawbridge down here, and this is a drawbridge, and I've got an edgestone brick in the left slot of it here, so it looks like an edgestone brick. It won't actually line up perfectly with the other edgestone brick, so it's going to be a little bit obvious if you use edgestone bricks. If you use regular bricks, however, it won't show up at all. The only reason it shows up here is because it doesn't combine texture like that. So actually, if we really wanted to, we could take our stone here. As everybody can see, I did a stone for the foundation here, because in the bottom of the tower, it kind of looks like it's just a smooth stone foundation. So if we wanted to, we could even do that. It might blend in a little better. And then we'll take some stone here on the edges, like that. Now it doesn't even show up at all. How's that look, Joe? What do you think?
Looking pretty good.
And then underneath, so far, we've got a redstone torch on top of a rednet cable. The rednet cable I'm going to be using is from Minefactor Reloaded. It is made from 6 plastic sheets and 3 redstone, get you 8 of them. The plastic sheets are formed out of 4 raw plastic, get you 4 of them. And the raw plastic is smelted out of rubber or out of rubber bars. Rubber's out of Industrial Craft, and rubber bars are out of Mine Factory Reloaded as well, which are smelted out of raw rubber. These are gotten out of rubber trees, which is part of World Gen for Mine Factory Reloaded. Let me take a quick look around the terrain, see if I can see one, because they're pretty easy to spot. They're just bright green leaves. I don't see any red around here, actually. I'll put one down here between next cut, just to show it off. But anyway, I've got one of those on the cable here, and I've got this set to orange. Once you right-click this with a wrench, it'll change it, so you can get this band underneath. You can see it changes on top, or from this side, you can just right-click the color band itself. And if you go too far over, you can always shift right-click, and that will change the color backwards. So I've got this set to orange right now. And the cool thing is this is a drawbridge, so if the torch goes away, the signal turns off, and it withdraws the bridge. And then it actually stores those spruce wood planks in there. So that's how we're doing the door. What do you think, Joe?
Now, hold on. Where is the switch for the door?
There's no switch yet. I'll be making one here in a few minutes. What I'm going to do, I think, is we're going to hide this in here. I've got these as edgestone brick slabs. All you do is you take a saw. I've got a diamond saw here, made with 2 sticks, 2 tough rods, and a diamond. Stone rod, stone tool rod. This is just 2 stone up and down. You get 4 of those guys, and you make a saw. And then to make this here, you take the saw on a crafting grid. So let me grab a crafting table here. This is part of Chicken Chunks. He brought back micro parts. So we're going to drop a crafting table right there just for the time being. And then all you do is you take your stone brick and you take your saw and you cut it in half. You don't have to use a diamond unless you're taking down covers, because you can cut these guys in half too. So every stage needs a better and better saw. I just made the diamond one out of habit. So let's make us a switch for this door and keep up with the tower. We didn't make the lapis blocks all the way around because, as far as we can tell in the picture, the blue doesn't go all the way around. It looks like it stops in the front edges. So we got the tower starting up this way, and we're going to finish at the top. We'll get a flag up, and then we'll get some automated archery. Because I know that's the part that Joe's really looking forward to. Automatic guns.
That is going to be the best part, yeah.
Alright, let's finish up the door, and we'll be back in a second. We'll do another YouTube cut, guys. Alright, so we're back. Just wanted to show off the mechanics for the door. Should be pretty simple here. But before I do that, I'm going to show off this rubber tree really quick. This is the Mine Factory Reloaded rubber tree. When you are looking for Mine Factory Reloaded rubber, you come up and you notice these bright green leaves. Way brighter than normal oak leaves, or birch leaves, or whatever other kind of leaves. Just the bright green leaves. Whenever you harvest one of these rubber wood, you're also going to get one of the raw rubber that I showed a minute ago. So that's the tree you're looking for right there. And then, obviously, shooting arrows will help you get the rubber. Glad you're here, Joe.
Yeah, no problem.
So what I'm going to do down here is I'm actually going to... got this cable set up, and then what I'm going to do... Oh, man. I'm backing up like crazy. We're going to get a repeater here. This is a Red Logic repeater. This is a Red Logic stand-in. We used to have Red Power that did circuitry, but this time we're going to use Red Logic, which is part of a stand-in mod. It's actually just there to replace a lot of the old Red Power logic circuits. So this is a repeater here. I opted for this repeater instead of a vanilla repeater because of the fact that the vanilla repeaters don't increment the ticks very well. When you right-click a vanilla repeater, you're going to get 1 tick, 2 ticks, 3 ticks, 4 ticks for delays. This one doubles. So right now it's 1 tick, now it's 2, now it's 4, now it's 8, now it's 16, 32, 64, 128. So it doubles the ticks each time. So I was kind of thinking that like 5 clicks. You got to use a screwdriver. This is also from the Red Logic. This is the Red Logic tool, and it's just a couple of iron, an ink sac, an orange, dandelion yellow, and a stick will get you one of these screwdrivers. So they're not that expensive to make. So I'll just put a repeater here, and what we're going to do is I'm going to use from the Secret Rooms mod this secret player plate. And this guy is going to be made from 4 camouflage pastes, 4 rotten flesh, or 4 wool of any color. Rotten flesh is just easier to get because, you kill zombies. And then a pressure plate. The pressure plate is 2 stone. Of course, get you one of those. The camouflage paste is 1 dirt in the center and 8 of any kind of dye around it. Gets you 9 of those guys. So that's not really expensive either. You can use dirt or sand. And when you right-click one of these player plates, it takes on the properties of the looks for whatever block you placed it against. So you can see here I set it on a dirt grass block, so now it's going to look like a dirt grass. And if you target it with Wayla installed, Wayla's the what am I looking at mod, so that's what at the top of the screen when you put your cursor over something, it tells you what you're looking at. So here's a damp grass biomes plenty mod. Here is a shrub from Minecraft, default Minecraft, vanilla Minecraft. So if you look at this player plate, I placed it against the dirt block so it looks like a dirt block, but if you step on it, you can hear the click of a pressure plate going off, like so. So it's just a hidden pressure plate. And if I take it over here and I right-click him against the edgestone brick, he's going to take on the properties to look like an edgestone brick. Now, he's not going to actually combine his textures like the stone bricks do when you place them against each other. So you're going to know that something's up just because of the fact that you're there. But if you use something like the default bricks from Minecraft, for example, then it wouldn't actually be a big deal. We're just using these bricks in particular. So actually, let me go ahead and grab a couple of regular bricks here, just regular stone bricks, and I can demonstrate that really quick for you. So we'll put like 2 as if I had done it up there, and then you put one in the center, and then you can't really tell. So it just depends on what mod you're doing. If it's connected textures, it's not going to connect its texture. But we like this here because this is the player plate. You can see it says secret player plate, meaning that this cannot be activated by monsters. So a zombie, a spider, whatever else comes up and steps on it's not going to activate it. So this can only be activated by players. And the idea here is I'm using these slabs for the stairs. If I can actually aim this correctly. There we go. So that's going to be our staircase. And just basically the idea is as you walk up the staircase, you trigger the door. So why don't you go ahead and step on that secret player plate there, Joe, and you'll see that the drawbridge will retract. You have to, there you go. Give it a second for that repeater.
I heard a click.
Yeah, give it a second for the repeater. Oh, you know what? I actually need to make sure. Yeah, I didn't set the repeater. I didn't set the player plate itself to orange. There we go. Now you should be good. So when you step on it, the repeater goes off and the drawbridge goes down, and you can walk in. And then after a few seconds,
And then there's a tiger trap in here.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to put the other one. I'm going to put another one right in here. So we'll do another player plate right there. And I'll get down here and set this one to orange. We're going to need a repeater in here as well. You could set this up so you only had one repeater. I just didn't do it that way. Be a little more efficient if you did it that way, but hey, whatevs. So we'll get a... Where is my cabling? There we go. And we'll get you set to orange, and we'll get you set to orange, and we'll cover this up. And now you've got a way in and a way out. And we'll cover this up. There we go. Yeah! So now we got a stairway in and a stairway out. So you just step on the button, it'll open up after a few seconds. You run in, and you give that a second, and there you go. So you have an automatic way of getting in and out. And if you don't like how slow that is, you can always set it to like 4 ticks. Or not 4 ticks, but, you know, 4 clicks on the repeater as opposed to 5, which I have it set to if you don't like the long delay on it when you're building yours. If anybody is interested in building this tower. Is that not going off?
Didn't seem to be.
Oh, there we go. You know, let's set it to 4 clicks. Hang on a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be way better. Always make sure that if you're using the rednet cable, you click it the right way. There you go. See, the problem with using a shorter amount of clicks is it doesn't stay open for as long. You could potentially crush yourself, which is why I had it to 4. So just make sure you're waiting and you don't dilly-dally when you're running through there. So there you go. That's going to be the door, and that's the tree that you're looking for, and we have an automated way in and out of this thing so monsters can't get in. Unless you let them in which case you're a dirty, filthy traitor. Say it again, say it again.
Like every damn dirty zombie movie and video out there. I swear to God, The Walking Dead, they have more trouble with people than they do zombies.
Yes. Alright, let's build this tower up some more. Alright, we're getting pretty close to done with the tower here. Actually, I think maybe I'll pop this out of here a little bit along these edges really quick. Just because that's getting a little bit bulky up top, I think, here. But we're pretty much done with the structure, except for getting the top to look really nice. Going to add a few more details up top. But I've got the internal workings of the tower itself finished in terms of getting up and down. I was making a middle floor here. This middle section floor up near the top is going to be where I have the automatic guns shooting out. So we'll have arrows coming out from all sides up here, here in a few minutes. But I wanted to make it so we get up and down the tower really easy, and I decided to go with elevator blocks from open blocks. That's right, elevator blocks. What these guys do is elevator blocks that share the same color. All you do to get up and down them is sneak to go down and jump to go up, which by default for button mapping is spacebar for jumping and shift for sneaking. So this elevator block here, if I shift, down we go. Now we're down below. This is the center level of the tower. I've popped out a few blocks for some arrow slits here so we can look out. And then down one more block, we got the main floor. Here's the door that leads out of the tower. There we go. What is that you're building out there, Joe? Oh, man.
You know, just a little farm for zombies.
Zombie farm. Is this what we're going to be testing the tower on? Is that what you're doing over here?
I figured something like that, yeah.
Yeah, alrighty. So the elevator blocks, we go up and down, although you'll notice that I skipped this center floor here when I went up and down. This little barely high enough room to fit in here on the top of the tower. If I shift again, you'll notice we go past it. We're down below one floor. See that? And the reason why is because there isn't an elevator block right here in the center. I've got one over here, and it's colored gray instead of white. And all you do for that is you just right-click with any kind of dye color, and it will only attach to other ones of that color. But this one will get us up and down to the maintenance floor is what I'm going to call this, where the towers are up here. These elevator blocks are pretty simple to make. You just need an ender pearl in the center surrounded by 8 of any color wool. We'll get you a default white one. That's how you're going to go about doing that. So I'm going to finish filling in this floor right here, I think. Oh, that'd be a bad time. So you want to do this manually instead of with your builder's wand, because you might accidentally fill in bits that you don't want filled in. So that's how to do that. And we'll go down one over here and up one over here. And we are inside. So that's how we're going to move about inside the tower. Pretty simple. I'm going to finish up the top floor details, and we're going to get some ways of automatically launching arrows, and we will be back. Alright, so we've gotten pretty much everything we need for the guard tower itself. I still have to finish up the top of the roof, but we're going to use dispensers for arrows. I thought about using autonomous activators from thermal expansion, but we're not going to do that because there's two things. Number one, these things have to have a bow equipped in them in order to actually shoot the arrow. The way the settings inside the autonomous activator works is you put a bow in the first slot and arrows in the second, and it actually uses the bow to actually shoot the arrows. So you have to fill this thing with arrows and a bow. So far from actually keeping it stocked with arrows, you got to make sure that you got a bow in there that's either enchanted to be unbreakable or that you keep on top of returning arrows in there as much as possible. Plus the fact that it takes a signal to actually operate, so it doesn't just straight shoot arrows the whole time it's activated. So you can see how it's actually pulsing right there, and it doesn't just shoot arrows with every pulse. When you get a redstone signal to it, it charges up just like you do as a player. You have to click and hold the button to actually charge how far you're going to shoot the arrow, and then when you let go of the button is when the arrow shoots, and it shoots how far you put it. And the redstone signal that you give it with the lever, how long it receives a signal, is the same as you holding the button. So it's actually not very quick for firing. So we're going to use just a vanilla dispenser, which I already showed on camera how to make, but I'll just put up again really quick, just some cobblestone and a bow and a redstone. And the way this guy works, this is pretty cool. It operates in the same principle of needing to have a redstone signal applied to it, and if I get an arrow, or a stack of arrows, let's say, and I put the arrows in here, every time it receives a signal, it'll fire an arrow. And the thing is, it'll fire arrows as fast as getting a signal. So, how can we give it a super fast signal? Any idea, Joe?
No idea.
We're going to use a timer. That's right. The timer will fire the arrows for us. So we can set it as click as every 2 seconds like so, or we can get in here and we can say -1 second to give it as fast as possible. Look at that. Or we can bump it up a little bit, say maybe every half second. Oh, that's every 10 seconds. We don't want that. There we go. There's every half a second. Oh, but it's out of arrows. So we can go over here and get these arrows really quick off this wall. And I'll just load it back in here. So there's every half a second. Not quite so machine gun. Entertaining, hey Joe?
This is like something out of the movie Hook.
So at the end, once we actually switch this entire tower on, it's shooting arrows in all directions. You can start chanting Rufio, Rufio.
I will.
I hope so. So basically, what we're gonna do here is
Bangarang, bitches.
Bangarang, bitches. Ah, so good. So I'm actually gonna indent this thing. I'm not gonna have it right there. I'm probably gonna actually put it a little bit further in, like so. And then what's gonna happen is I'll get inside, and we're gonna wire this thing. I'm gonna raise the floor of this level up one, so that we can have a little arrow, because I like to hide the cabling. So I'm actually gonna raise this up a little bit like this, all the way around the tower, so that this second mid-level here looks a little nicer. And then I'm going to pop these out and raise the floor up inside a little bit. So that's how that's going to look on the outside. And then once we get inside here, this floor is going to be removed completely, and then I'll have another floor in like this. So that's how that's going to look. And the reason why is so that I can hide cabling in here, and then this ceiling down here will actually be brought down one like this, so that I can hide cabling in here. That way we can make it look as nice as possible without totally screwing up the functionality of it. Because here at Rob the OPGamer, I like to combine functionality with aesthetics. I want both every time, damn it. So on that vehement note, we'll do one more cut. And pretty soon Joe will be not the only one shooting arrows.
And we're back. Remember, folks, this episode of Surprise Build is brought to you by the Fisher-Price Light Socket Kit. Where else are you going to jam all those metal objects?
Light socket kit. If only. So...
You didn't have one?
No. We had the lawn darts.
I guess that was just my parent. Well, just as deadly, really.
Yeah. They didn't even come with any warnings or anything. They just came in a box of 6. We just pulled them straight out of the box, threw them straight up in the air.
The box instructions just said, "Do it, faggot."
Yeah. That's actually what later inspired the Mountain Dew logo or slogan.
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it.
Oh wait, that's Nike.
Ah, whoops. What's the Mountain Dew one then?
Do the do.
That's right. Shit.
It doesn't matter. They're all implying we do bad things.
Yeah, they are. So we're getting the tower finished up here. Basically what I've got on the inside here is I've got cabling set for color coding the individual dispensers for each side of the thing. We got like magenta on the north facing 3 dispensers in the top floor, light blue for the east, yellow for the south, and lime for the west, and then I'm going to do 4 more colors for the lower dispensers for the lower floors. That way, obviously, these will hit sort of like this far, and the top ones will hit a little farther. So we'll get like 2 levels of arrows, basically, is the idea here. And then what I'll do is we'll set up a control center downstairs. I put some glass down here so you can see out pretty easily. So you'll run into the main floor, and then you'll flip whichever lever needs being shot out of, basically, is the idea there. And I've got cover panels, edge stone brick covers. This is what I showed earlier with the diamond saw. You cut these edge stone bricks all the way down to get the covers. And then those can cover up the item ducts, because those are going to be multi-part compatible. Thank you, Thermal Expansion, and thank you, Chicken Chunks and the Forge Micro Blocks for setting up all the micro parts. So that will give us the nice exterior outward look, because I like all my aesthetics. And in here, we're going to set up tesseracts with item ducts to keep the dispensers filled. So we're going to send arrows through a tesseract system to keep everything full, so we don't have to come up here and do this manually every single time, which will be nice. And the item ducts and the tesseracts are smart enough not to overflow. If these things fill up with arrows, then they will stop sending them in there, and the item ducts will stop operating. Just make sure that you give these a wrench so that they send outwards. Whoops, that's not what we want. There we go. That'll disable it. That's inwards, that's outwards. So these will send out that way. So let me give a little demonstration down here really quick. And basically the way it'll work, just for showcasing this, is the Tesseract. Oh, come on, you stupid dispenser. There we go. So let's get those 3 out like that, and I'll just connect these up really quick for a simple showcase. And I'm going to be setting all the Tesseracts to the arrow frequency. I'm actually going to set this to 2, though, just for the demonstration I'll use 2. The frequency is 1 for the arrows upstairs. Set this to ignored on the redstone control. That way it's always operating. And then you want to set, this is receive only. They all start by default to receive only for items, fluid, and energy, because one Tesseract does everything at once. So click that twice and click that twice, so you get the energy blocked and the fluid blocked, because we only want to receive items. And then over here we'll put another Tesseract, for example, and this one will be set to 2, click check, disable, and then we're going to click twice for both of those, and this one will be send only. So we'll have a send only Tesseract probably in the ground floor somewhere, so you can drop arrows off. And basically what's going to happen is we'll get a, I don't know, let's use a pipe really quick. It doesn't matter exactly how we set the demonstration one up, because this is the insert side. So whenever this receives anything dropped, it will send it through here from frequency 2 item send to frequency 2 item receive, and it will end up in here. So if I just set a bunch of, hey Joe, you want to give me a hand with this demonstration really quick?
I'm on the way.
Basically what I want you to do is stand over here to this rear Tesseract and just throw arrows into that rear Tesseract. Or into the, just aim at the obsidian pipe here and just throw arrows.
You didn't mean smash the pipe, right?
I did not mean smash the pipe. Let me replace that for you. Q is your default for throw. There you go.
There goes.
And this should also be set to out. There we go. And the arrow came straight through and went into the center dispenser. It was pretty quick because these are impulse item ducts. You can use regular item ducts if you'd like to see them flow a little bit. Let me grab a regular item duct here. There we go. Toss another one.
Just arrows?
Yeah. Well, that wood plank worked. Basically, I just use the slower item ducts just for purpose of seeing these things. So you can come over here and you can pick up your stuff out of this dispenser if you'd like. So basically, that'll just send it out, and it will pretty evenly distribute between all the things the item ducts are touching. It will go into the nearest empty inventory. So when one inventory will fill up, it'll go to the next one. So if you want to have them perfectly evenly distributed, you'll have to use a Tesseract for each individual dispenser. Or if you don't mind so much because you're going to start with all these things filled up, then just go ahead and use the pipes. Either way is perfectly fine, but that is basically how we're going to be getting the arrows into the upper floors without having to go up there and manually feed them every time. Because I thought that'd be a pain in the ass. So to make a Tesseract, you're going to have to surround a full Tesseract frame with 4 silver ingots and 4 bronze ingots. Bronze, of course, is just going to be a mix of your tin ingot and your 3 copper ingots. We'll get you 4 of those. Or you can combine the dusts and then smelt them if you'd like, if you have pulverized laying around. And then that's going to get you a Tesseract. The Tesseract frame full is going to be made out of an empty Tesseract frame, and you're going to fill it with Resonant Ender. This is going to be in a fluid transposer that this happens, so you got to get a fluid transposer with 1,000 millibuckets, or 1 bucket worth of Resonant Ender is all you need, 1 bucket worth to fill that baby up. The Tesseract frame itself is going to be 4 Enderium ingots and 4 hardened glass. Or 4 quartz glass, I guess, works too. The Enderium ingot is going to be made out of a induction smelter. These are all thermal expansion machines, by the way. They need to be powered with their engines and all that kind of stuff. And I go over all the thermal expansion power sources in some of my previous build spotlights. You'll want to check those out if you want to see how to set those up. Not going to get into that right now. But 2 Enderium blend and 1 pyrotheum dust in an induction smelter is going to give you 2 Enderium ingots. The Enderium blend is 3 tin dust, 3 pulverized tin, and 1 pulverized shiny metal, and another bucket of Resonant Ender. It's going to get you 2 of those blends. A bucket of Resonant Ender is going to come from using a magma crucible machine and smelting down an ender pearl inside the magma crucible. 1 ender pearl is worth 250 millibuckets, so to get 1 full bucket worth, you need 4 ender pearls. So you're going to need, basically for each Tesseract is going to be 1 bucket worth, gets you 4 Enderium blends. The pulverized shiny metal, by the way, is going to come from, if you have the Neither Ores mod installed, you get Neither Platinum Ore. You get that out of the Neither. Yeah, that's an extra mod. It's just a cross-mod compatibility. Or you're going to get them from pulverizing just ferrous ore. This is a world gen from Thermal Expansion. You'll find that digging around in the earth. and you pulverize that guy and you get 2 ferrous metal, and you have a 10% chance of also getting a shiny metal. So that's going to be your quickest way of getting it early on. And the tin, of course, you're just going to pulverize tin. The pyrotheum dust is going to come out of 1 pulverized coal powder, or pulverized coal dust, or whatever you want to call it. Any version will work. 1 sulfur, 1 redstone, and 1 blaze powder. The easiest way to go about getting the blaze powder and sulfur dust, by the way, is if you get a blaze rod from a drop from a blaze in the nether, and if you put it through the pulverizer machine from thermal expansion, you can get 4 of those guys, and you get a 50% chance of also getting a sulfur. So that's going to be your easiest way. And 1 mix of these 4 blends will get you 2 of those pyrotheum dust. That's how you. So basically, 1 set of pyrotheum, 2 pyrotheum, 4 enderium, 1 recipe of both of these 2 will get you 4 of these and 2 of these, and that will get you 4 enderium ingots, which is 1 tesseract. So it's a little involved. And then, of course, the hardened glass is going to be made in the induction smelter as well. 8 pulverized obsidian dust and 1 lead or lead dust will get you 2 of those guys. And of course, it's going to be 1 pulverized obsidian gets you 4 dust in the pulverizer machine. So that's how you get your empty frame, and that's how you get your resonant ender, and that's how you make your tesseract. Now, of course, if you don't want to go through that giant, huge process of making tesseracts, you can set up a pretty complex piping system. Instead of having these tesseracts right here, since these are multi-parts, you could funnel these impulse ducts through the walls and cover them up, and then you can just dump them into a chest by hand. Just drop everything into a chest, and then it'll feed it all the way up through the tower. That's just going to be a little bit difficult, though, just because that's how the piping is going to work. So I'm going to use tesseracts for this build because I think they kick ass. You don't have to if you really don't want to. The impulse item ducts are going to be the item transportation system from thermal expansion as well. To get these guys, you make 1 item duct and you energize it with glowstone. 200 millibuckets of glowstone. This is made by Magma Crucible. You've got to put in 1 glowstone dust, gets you 250 millibuckets, or 1 full glowstone gets you 1 full bucket worth. And it's going to be 200 millibuckets, so it's a little less than 1 glowstone per impulse duct into 1 regular item duct, which is made out of 1 of those hardened glass we discussed, and 2 tin gets you 6 of those. So those are nowhere near as difficult to get those going. So I'm going to be using those guys, and the reason why we're using these instead of Buildcraft pipes is because these won't overflow and drop shit on the ground. If they don't have anywhere to put anything, they'll just jam up for a few minutes until everything clears up, and then they'll continue flowing. And of course, we're only putting arrows in here, so it's not really that big a deal regardless. Now, the unfortunate part about this entire setup, of course, is that there's no way to automatically pick up arrows. I did as much research as I could find. I checked with Xavier to see if he knew any way, but there's really no way to pick up arrows that have been shot. The only way you can really pick them up is if they're in item form on the ground. But once they've been shot and are stuck in the ground, there's no picking them up automatically fashion. I tried to use golems. I tried to use vanilla water mechanics. I tried to use kinetic attractors. I tried various different things, but there's just no way to automatically pick up arrows. So you're going to need to either come out and pick them up yourself and then feed them back into the system once you've got your tesseracts in place, or you're going to need to have some sort of automatic crafting system set up. Like if you've got like your base back in your base has set to make arrows, whether you're using applied energistics or logistics pipes or whatever you're using, in order to automatically craft arrows, then you can feed them in that way. But there's really no collecting them automatically afterwards. So you're going to have to come out and pick them up yourself if you want to pick them up. Or if you just have tons of flint and feathers laying around. If you make a tree farm for sticks and a chicken farm for feathers, and you are running your quarry a lot for cobblestone, those can be turned into gravel through NEI, shows me. So you can get flint that way at the very least. So if you've got a bunch of stuff laying around, that's the only downside to this. So you're going to need to look out for that when you're actually getting this all set up. So I'm going to finish wiring these up. We're going to string cables down here. We may, just for the sake of not having to string cables through these walls, because you can see I was breaking out these bricks and stuff here, having to string some form of cabling up through the walls is going to be difficult as hell. I think what we should do is set up a couple of wireless redstone guys. Yeah, let's do that. So you can get these from WR-CBE Logic Mod. I think that's just an add-on for the core. It's a wireless redstone stand-in, basically, and this is going to give us a wireless receiver and a wireless transmitter. And what we're going to do with these guys is the receivers are going to go in here, and I'm going to set this guy, he can go right there, that'll work. And I'm going to set him to, let's see, there's a blue frequency, that's where my little elevator is going to come in, so I'm going to put one there, so we don't want to put one directly on top. Let's set you to frequency 1, you to frequency 2. You can see that they'll change on the side if you place those down. And we got to set this guy, of course, to not be cable only mode. So let's drop this back to white, because I use white for my non-used side. We'll set that to magenta. And then let's get a yellow guy over here. There we go. And then we'll get a lime guy over here. Just like so. And then we'll set this guy to 3. Yeah. And this guy to 4. There we go. So these wireless transmitters will receive wireless transmitter signals on those frequencies. So what happens is if we put down a transmitter, we'll put this wherever we want to in the regular world, like down on the ground floor or whatever. And then if we set this guy to 1, and then if we put a lever right here on frequency 1, we can look up here and see that frequency 1 lit up and is sending a signal to the magenta dispensers. So that's how we're going to operate on the ground floor without having to actually get up here and wire this floor. So that's actually a really nice way to go about that. So I can cover all this up without having to worry about it. This floor is basically done up here, really. Actually, no, I need to add timers between these, so we're not going to set those up quite that way. So that was a big derp right there on my part. So let's get the timer going on here. So there's a couple different types of timers. We got the Red Logic timer and the Project Red timer. Those are sort of the two different mods for stand-ins to replace the old Red Power logic gates. If you're using Red Logic, the recipe is going to be a redstone torch, 2 redstone, and 1 iron ingot. We'll get you a timer. If you're using Project Red, you're going to be using all these different circuits. 1 circuit plate, you smelt down 1 stone into 2 circuit plates. And then this conductive plate is going to be 1 plate and 1 redstone, get you 1 of those. And then 2 of these anodes, which is 4 redstone and 3 circuit plates, like so, get you 3 of those guys. And then a pointer is going to be a stone, a redstone, and a circuit plate. And then the cathode is going to be the circuit plate and the redstone torch. So Project Red sticks pretty close to the original way that Red Power set those up. Or if you're using Red Logic, it's a lot cheaper version. It's a lot less of a headache to actually craft those. It doesn't matter. They work the exact same way. It just depends on which one you have installed. So I'm going to set up, let's get our receiver here. This guy's this is going to be a little bit of a mess because there's only so much room in this upper floor. So that's just kind of a fact of life. That's why this section is hidden and we don't ever come up here once you get this going. So let's put this timer here. So that's triggering those magenta dispensers constantly forever. But I don't like that quite either. So let's do this. Let's also grab a NOR gate. Is that what we're going to want? Yes. So that'll keep that guy off at all times. And that's also, there's also a Red Logic version and a Project Red version. So here's the Project Red. Project Red, if you're using that's going to be 4 circuit plates in the corners, 3 of those conductive plates we just talked about, 1 of those anodes we're going to just talked about, and a cathode. We already covered all those. If you're using Red Logic, you're going to use just 4 redstone and a redstone torch. No big deal. And this guy will always automatically output a signal, redstone signal, unless he receives one. So if we put a lever down here, that'll turn him off, which will allow that to run. That's how that's going to work. But we're not going to put a lever up here. We are going to put a wireless receiver up here, like so. So that when we actually trigger this thing from downstairs, on frequency 1 like we did a minute ago, that's how we're going to make this automatically work. So I'm going to set this guy, I'm going to set him down to half a second, because that sounds like entertainment to me. And I'm going to do the same thing over here, so let's get our timer. We'll face him that way. Get him down to half a second. And we'll get our NOR gate. Let's get that out of there. And we will get our receiver. NOR gate. Timer. Receiver. We'll set him to 2. And that's basically what we're doing up here. That's basically all it's going to be. So I will set the same thing up here. This one's going to require a little bit of a creative twist to it. So let's get this, and then we're going to get this. That looks good. And then we'll get our receiver right there. And we'll set him to 3. I think that'll work. Let's get a transmitter really quick and test it. So here's a transmitter. And let's set this to 3. And let's grab a lever. That was too close. Let's go back down here, down to the bottom floor. Lever. Transmitter. 3. Oh yeah. So that does work from the side there. So it's the NOR gate is going to work if as long as it'll output a signal as long as it doesn't receive another signal from any side. And if you're worried that this is going to cross this way right here, don't worry about it. 2 will only send along the wire path. It will not send to the side. So if I change this transmitter to 2 and flip him on, you can see he only activated this guy, but did not activate this guy. So you don't need to worry about your stuff crossing. Just pay attention to where the little redstone wires go along the plates that you're putting down. You should be fine. And then we'll get another plate here for the timer. And we'll get another NOR gate like that. And we'll get our receiver like that. And we'll set him to 4. And we'll set him down to half a second. There we go. So this wiring up here is all done. I'm just going to drop a torch over here and a torch on that wall just to keep things lit because I'm paranoid as hell. And then we can successfully close this up completely. So I'm going to grab a stonework right here and we'll get this reset just so it looks nice and pretty. Like so. And everything's going to look good, and then we can go through our access way up here if we want to get up here and take a look at something. That's how we're going to get up here. So this floor's done. Now we're going to do this floor here. I'll do that off camera since I've already done most of this on camera. And we'll come back basically with our final project. We're just about ready to test this bitch out. What do you think, Joe?
I think I'm ready to see some zombies get mowed down like whoa.
You bored as fuck watching me redstone again? You did that last time.
Well, I've almost got this NPC village repaired, so...
Yeah, you do. Although it looks like you've taken a few embellishments with it since.
Yeah, I had to work around the mayhem that flying monstrosity wrecked.
You know, Xavier might log on and destroy all this again.
Oh, I'm totally cool with that.
The blacksmith right here is going to be your biggest deal to try to fix, by the way. This is where the TNT got dropped a lot.
This is now a monument to the machine.
Oh, cool. I'll go with that. Alright, so we'll do one more YouTube cut to finish up this tower, and we'll be back for testing. Alright, so down here I have cut out a little bit of the sections of the wall here so that we can put a few levers in, and I'm going to put a couple signs in here that indicate which levers control which of the traps outside, because we're on the ground floor with the front door right here. So these transmitters will control each up top, and I never actually showed how to make the transmitters, so I'm going to do that really quick here. Just a couple stone slabs, 2 redstone, an obsidian stick, and a wireless transceiver gets you the transmitter. The stone slabs, of course, are just 3 stone, gets you 6 slabs. The obsidian stick is just 2 obsidian, gets you 2 of those guys. The transmitter itself is going to be an obsidian stick that we just covered, and a wreather pearl, which is an ender pearl surrounded by 4 glowstone and 4 redstone. It's going to get you that. That's how you're going to get your transmitter. Wireless receiver is the exact same recipe, except for you combine that wireless transceiver with a stone bowl to get that guy, which is just 3 stones. So that's the only difference between the two. So that's going to be that. And then as soon as I get these wired up, we're going to set these to the signals upstairs and indicate with sign which ones do which, and then Joe's going to have fun shooting zombies. Alright guys, we are back and we are pretty much done. We're about ready to test this build out. I've got all the levers in the bottom floor and they are indicating which ones they are. So this, for example, is the north wall on the top floor, and this is the north wall on the bottom floor. These levers set to their frequencies to switch the correct things on the correct side so you know which direction you're firing what. And so we're going to be operating mostly on the east wall because that's where Joe's over there. He's built a little zombie fort and they're going to be streaming out of that door. And once they start coming out, they are going to be firing out of this, which is the bottom floor, because this is the top floor. So we're going to shoot from the bottom floor and we're going to shoot that door there, and everything should hopefully be blasting the fuck out of these zombies. That is the whole point of this whole thing here. And in order to get these wires set up, this is the Project Red wire. For some reason, the red power wire didn't actually want to separate with the multi-part. So you're going to have to use the red logic wire or figure out a different way to do it. The rednet cable would work if you set things up appropriately. And what we're going to do here is this is just 3 of the red alloy ingots, makes 12 of those wires. And this is just smelted out of a red iron compound, which is just an iron ingot surrounded by redstone. So that's how you're going to get those wires. And to get this guy going on here that we separated with that multi-part, which is the strip, you take one of your cover panels. So we're going to use our saw here, and you get one of your brick panel, and then you get one more down, and you get your brick cover, and you put that to the side. That's going to get you your strip. And that's what we used in order to separate those guys. So we also decrease the rate of fire from half a second to a quarter second, so it's 0.25, and we are ready to test this bitch out. You ready to machine gun some zombies, Joe?
Oh, here comes the horde.
Alright, give me a countdown and then release the door and I'll turn on the lever.
Alright, on 3, 2, 1, here comes.
Ah, yeah, suck it, zombies!
They're still coming.
They are still coming. How are you? Did you just spawn a ton of them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Alright, stop. Oh, I stepped on the plate on accident. Oh man. That is some crazy ass fast rapid firing. For a minute they weren't actually coming out, they were just taking shots and then they decided to... That is a lot of arrows. Good Christ. So you were spawning them faster than I was shooting them, but I only had 3 dispensers. Imagine if we had like 10 or 12 dispensers going on here.
Yeah, I just stacked them up in there until it was cordwood zombies trying to escape, so...
Oh, I got an idea. Let's do this. You said you wanted a really good way of shooting zombies? I got an idea. So, this door is controlled by pistons on a wire underground. So let's do this. I've shown the corporeal attractor before. It attracts monsters. Let me get a Thaumaton here. I'm going to grab my Thaumaton and right-click this guy, and we're going to go down to... It's a Tinker's Construct item. And let me find it really quick here. There we go. So the kinetic attraction, you make 1 for items, which is the kinetic attractor, 1 for entities, which is the corporeal attractor. 2 copper ingots, 1 air shard, 1 other shard, 1 and 2 greatwood logs, and a wand focus on Narcan workbench with 50 air, 5 terra, 5 ordo, and 5 perdito will get you that guy. The wand focus is going to be 1 air shard, 1 gold ingot, 1 iron ingot, 4 nether quartz, and 1 ender pearl. Our arcane infusing setup with 20 air, 10 cognito, 10 modus, and 20 perdito will get you that guy. And if you're curious on how to set up arcane infusion, well, watch a different video. I'm not setting one up right now. This video's gone on long enough as it is. Let me get a redstone torch. And what this guy's going to do is when you open those doors, Joe, it will start attracting them to this thing so they can't move.
Just so we're clear, at this point we're cheating. At no point in Warcraft were we able to actually attract things to the ground.
This isn't Warcraft, this is Minecraft. We're just taking ideas from Warcraft. You wanted a Slaughterfest.
Right.
I'm giving you a Slaughterfest. Alright, Alright, so let me get that. Oh, actually, I need a NOT gate first, I think. We still have my NOR gate sitting around somewhere? NOR gate. There we go. That's what I want. Kind of want them right there, though. That's okay. This will hold them still. So, let's go NOR gate. And torch. No? Well, in that case, let's do it this way. That'll be good. And then I'll get this guy. Let's get a redstone wire here. I'm going to change you to orange. And we'll get a couple more, just like that. And the torch right there. Orange. There we go. So this isn't used. It doesn't matter what color this one is. That will send the signal down here and keep that guy off unless he receives a signal. And he'll receive a signal from white when the door's open. Like so. Actually, that's not even needed. I am being a complete moron right now. Don't listen to me, because the doors were open. So as soon as you open the doors, this thing will turn on. Just like that. Stick that guy right there. None of that fancy stuff needed, because I thought the doors were closed. There we go. So that's going to operate on the same switch. Now, Joe, when you open the doors, they will attract to the front of the door and just get mowed down. How's that sound?
Alright, let's try this.
Just because why the hell not at this point? This is the last hoorah. I'm not even going to stay in there like for protection purposes. I'm just going to jump my ass in there and start watching some zombies die. That door's a pain in the ass. I don't know why I keep falling on it. Ready when you are, Joe.
Almost ready. Alright, ready?
Yep. I'm just going to turn the lever on. I don't even care anymore.
2, 1. Oh, yeah.
You love it. I'm going to get over here and get in front of it for a picture. Alright, today, everybody, you get 2 desktops. Here's one for you. Take a screenshot of that of the zombies mowed down. And then here's another one. We'll post side to side of the Gatling fire. This has been Rob, the OPGamer.
And this is Joe, the Revalator.
And this has been another surprise build. Today we did a tower from Warcraft 3 for the Scout Tower. Hope everybody had an OP time. Like, follow, favorite, subscribe, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Rob the OPGamer. Catch you guys next time. Peace!